beautiful Seattle weather, nice and hot today. Some really cool stuff going on out here at practice. Really like the battles that we're having. I mean, we got a lot of training camp battles that we're keeping an eye on. There's a lot of players that are standing out, and it's really fun to come out here and see the guys compete. Because once the season starts, you kind of don't get to see some of these younger guys, and so it's really fun to be out here and watch these guys, run around, go head to head against each other, but also against our defense. So really like where we're at right now. I think the thing that I'm really most pleased with is just our recall. Our recall from our off-season work that we did to this training camp has really been an outstanding thing. And I've told those guys that it's something that they've come a long way with, and it's a tribute to them and what they did from those 6 weeks that they got off. I like where they're at with that.
What's the plan on Tyler?
It's continue to just work him through. I think today he did individual and install, and they'll just kind of start to continue to move him along. There'll be periods like today where once he was done with that, then he goes and gets his conditioning in. But we're excited to have him back out there. He has such an energy about him, and an optimistic outlook on life, and he's a great guy to have around.
You said he's kind of the team's little kid. He brings everybody up, but when he got hurt, he said everybody was really down. Can you describe the coaching staff what that was like?
Well, I think anytime you lose one of your brothers, a guy that you fight, and you go through all these things out here at training camp, and all the way throughout the year, and anytime you see one of your guys go down, it has an effect on you. We love these guys. You spend so much time with them each and every day. So when something happens to somebody, particularly in that manner, you feel for him, you feel for his career, you feel for his family, and so just to see him be able to come back the way that he has, and really attack the off season and the rehab that he needed to do, and to see him back out here at training camp is a special thing. And then, like I said, earlier, he's got that that positive outlook on life. So right away, I remember going to visit him in the hospital, and he was really positive, and he just knew he was going to get back, and what he was going to do to attack the rehab, and he's done it.
Looked like Jimmy Graham had a couple red zone touchdowns out here. What's the key to kind of getting him to be more productive in that area this season?
Well, give him opportunities. That's what we're always looking for, always trying to do, and it's a learning process for Russ and for Jimmy, and and the plays and the things, how he fits into those plays. So it's a learning process there, and it's great to see him, Russ give him a couple opportunities to make some catches, and learn the body language, the catch radius, all those things. And that's not to say we haven't had that, but there's always levels that you can take it to, and I think you saw the two plays that he had that where you're able to see that.
Do you feel like he was used as effective as he could have been?
Yeah, we're using everybody. Can you say effectively? If you're a fantasy guy, you're probably not really excited about what was happening, But he's in there. We're working to get him the ball, and can we be better at it? Yeah, that's absolutely what we're trying to do. We want to make him a big part of things, but there's one ball. Doug wants to be a part of things, and I could go on and down the list of guys that want to be involved, and we're trying to get them all there.
What stood out to you about your running back?
What stood out? I just really like. Curtis, I just like how the run game's coming together. We really made an emphasis in the offseason to get back to our stuff, and I think we've really blocked some plays well. And then the running backs, it's a pretty long list of guys that are flashing at different times. I love that Thomas Rawls is back out here healthy. You can see it. He's playing at a different speed than he ever did last year when he was out there. Alex, you can see Alex is slimmed down, and he's looking really good. CJ, we fit in there. Eddie Lacy's out here. It's cool to see him and how he can bounce off things and gain some extra yards. Chris Carson's looked good as well, running the ball. So there's a long list of guys, and they've all had their moments.
What do you learn to specifically have in Eddie Lacy?
I think that we're still learning him, but as far as what I see so far, it's a guy that's got good pace to the hole. He's got good vision. That physical pounding that he can do to a defense, I don't think we're going to be able to see that out here. We can see him, take some of the collisions and bounce off some of those things, but we're never going to drag him to the ground. Got some good hands, like what I've seen with him coming out of the backfield and catching the ball. So some good stuff out of him.
Considering what he's coming off of and what you really needed for you, probably won't see a whole lot of him in the exhibition game.
Greg, I don't even think we've talked about any of that yet.
Right,
so.
You don't need to see him
Well, we need him. Yeah, we need him healthy for for the first game of the season, and if or how much we play him in the preseason, something weeks down that we'll talk about.
And now that you've seen Russell after offseason of healing and conditioning and losing weight, can you say, looking back on what he was last year with the injuries, how diminished he was?
Well, I can look at it two ways, and the way I want to look at it is I'm amazed with what he went through and what he did, and to be out there every day, to be there for his team, make plays for his team, and to gut out what he was gutting out, I think it speaks volume for who he is. He didn't miss anything. And obviously you could see that he didn't have his full game, but he played at a pretty high level and led us to a lot of wins. So is he better out here? Of course. He's had this off season. He's been able to train. He's been able to work his arm. He's been able to work his leg, and he looks great out here. So it's I think that just shows to last year about how special what he went through and what he did for us.
Do you feel like he was hampered even at the end of the season last year?
I think at the end he was getting back to a close to 100%. You started to see some of the some of the runs, some of the run around, move around things that he could do, but at 100%, no, he wasn't back to 100%.
When he didn't have that mobility, what did that mean for you?
Well, it's just a different game. There's times that we count on those big plays that are going to happen when he moves his feet, and we coach to it, and we work our receivers, work all those skill guys to be ready for the second chance opportunities, and it was just diminished a little bit, and we had to play the game that way.
When he makes the commitment to do stuff like hire a full-time strength coach and physical therapist, are those conversations you have with him beforehand about just kind of where he is in his career, where he wants to go, or does he just kind of come to you and let you know what he's doing?
No, that was never a conversation that I had with him. But Russell's always thinking. He's always on to something in his mind, and he's always trying to do what's best for him or do what's best for the team. He thinks about his longevity and his career and how he wants his career to end up. Those are things he's anybody that he can talk to. He tries to get their ear, which is going to be able to help him, in his career. And so those were some of the things in the off season that he ended up doing. Talked to a lot of people, and that's the way that he felt was going to be best for him.
Backup quarterback battle, where do you think stand there?
Yeah, it's a battle. That's one of those battles that I talked about. We got a lot of those going on, and we got a number of days out here. I like what I've seen from both of them. There's good and bad, and you got to make more good than bad. At this, by the time this thing ends up.
All right, thanks, guys. Bev's got to run.
All right, thank you.